Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra in stainless steel. This model is 41.5 millimeters in diameter, 13.1 millimeters thick, and 48.2 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Taking a look at it on the wrist, you can see it's a watch best described as full size, neither oversized nor undersized. It fits well on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. It's a fairly large Aqua Terra, so I'd recommend it for a wrist of at least 15 centimeters circumference. You can see that it's a large watch, but it does fit. It's also fairly thin for a tri-level coaxial Omega, so you could wear this one underneath the cuff, especially with the conical profile and slope of the bezel. The strap is upscale. Very few Seamasters look natural on an alligator leather strap, but the Aqua Terra, which is one of the more aesthetically versatile, is one of the few natural matches. So we have a black large rectangular scale alligator leather that progresses to a medium-sized scale. You can see that the strap is in outstanding condition. This is a brand new Omega factory strap. Gator and matte finish on the top. There's a little bit of bolstering or stuffing as we approach the lugs. We have a monotone stitch, a folded edge, calfskin on the bottom, and a deployant clasp that's common on Omega watches and has been for almost 2 decades, but it's a smart piece that works well. You can see there's a satin finished exterior with a few polished highlights, twin trigger release. You have to press both of them to open this. The strap tucks into and under the buckle, so when it's fully sized, all excess length, when it's sized to suit, hides underneath the strap itself and underneath the buckle chassis, so there's no need for minder loops. It creates a very clean aesthetic. We have the lyre style lugs with the inward and the outward bevel. We've known it since the early 60s on Seamasters and Speedmasters. It'll be very familiar to Omega fans. We have satin on the mid case, and then we have a polished bevel that expands at the ends of the lugs and thins out at the mid case. The crown includes a combination of polish and media blasting on its outer face, and this is a pre-2017 Aqua Terra, so there's a little bit of a countersink. There's a shear guard profile, almost like a crown guard, around the crown itself, just to protect it a bit more, and sinking it into the case flank makes it less obtrusive visually. We do have a screw down crown. The watch is 150 meters water resistant. The dial is a sort of anthracite gray. We have applique individual hour indices that include satination and polish, a wonderfully upscale look, a vintage-inspired broad arrow minute hand, applique Omega logo and marquee. We have a faceted, satinated, and polished trapezoidal frame for the date wheel. And again, this is the pre-2017 Aqua Terra, so the date's over at 3 o'clock. Now we have a feature that allows me to move the hour hand independently, and I can travel east-west, I can drive the date forward or backwards. Note that the watch is still ticking, and I'm not displacing the minute hand. This is for folks who travel a lot, so it's convenient that your chronometer-grade watch is not going to lose precious seconds in a hacked state while you move the hour and change time zones. That said, if you do want to hack and activate the stop second, you pull the crown to its second stop. Now I can synchronize precisely to a reference time, and we have that striation from top to bottom, that curtain-like profile that Omega describes as the teak deck concept, reminiscent of the deck of a yacht. And it makes sense. The Aqua Terra is the surf and the turf Seamaster, a bit more formal than the rotating bezel sports watches that are designed for diving. This is a sports watch, but surf or turf. So on the deck of your yacht, swimming at the beachhead, or in the ballroom or the dining room of the yacht club, this watch is appropriate in all of them. And in good taste, Omega matches the date disc to the dial color. Turn it all over, and you can see the caliber 8500. This debuted back in 2007 on the Hour Vision. It was Omega's first from the base plate up purpose-built coaxial caliber, which means all of the potential that George Daniels first saw in 1974 when he invented the coaxial is here realized. Extended power reserve, improved precision, and reduced long-term maintenance requirements. So it's an automatic winder with bidirectional winding action. It has 2 mainspring barrels, which gives it a 60-hour power reserve, but then another advantage of twin barrels in series, which is that the drop-off in torque after, for example, 24 hours is minimal, so you don't lose a lot of balance amplitude after 24 or 36 hours the way you would with a single barrel movement like a Rolex 3235. We have a well-braced movement with a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for shock tolerance. We have an anti-magnetic silicone hairspring that makes this watch incredibly hardened against magnetic forces. It is a 5-position adjusted COSC Swiss chronometer. And then we have a tri-level coaxial, which is a direct and indirect impulse tangential contact escapement created by independent watchmaker George Daniels and industrialized by Omega back in 1999. It reached its stride with these so-called tri-level coaxials that debuted from 2007 forward, and the 8500 is part of that series. It also has distinctive decoration. We have both polished and blackened screws with a spiral arabesque Cote de Genève across the surfaces, and all of this pivots on 39 joules. It also pivots at a quirky beat rate that's specific to Swatch Group silicone hairsprings, 25,200 vibrations per hour. Let's do a quick loom shot so you know what the watch looks like in the dark. That is the Aqua Terra, all 3 hands loomed. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.